Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is James. Today I want to talk about the recent shakeup in the cryptocurrency market. So you probably really have heard about the whole issue with Bitcoin where it was at an all-time high of $20,000 and then in a little bit less than a month was already at one of its lowest points in the past few years of almost $5,000. That's a 3/4 value drop in less than like a month's time. That's just something that I've never seen before, and it's I think kind of important for the cryptocurrency market for a few reasons. As a miner, I think that this is actually going to be beneficial for us for a few reasons. First, there's a lot of people who jumped ship when the price started to go down. There's a lot of miners that, if they're entry level and didn't really know what they're doing, likely thought that, oh, this isn't going to be as profitable and started to sell their cards, which can definitely be seen if you go through eBay now, as some of the prices have definitely dropped. For example, I was looking at an RX 380 a few weeks ago. It was almost $400 or $500 some of the listings. Now a lot of the listings are looking at about $125 to $200, which I think still definitely high, but it's starting to come back down because there's a lot more supply of cards. But the price is starting to come back down because there's more people putting their cards out for sale now, which I think is going to benefit us nicely. The second part of it, I think, is peace of mind. The main issue that happened with Bitcoin and it's such high value was that people were just using it as a get-rich-quick method, and that's not how currency is supposed to work. You wouldn't put all of your money into the euro and expect your money to triple over the course of a month. It's just not supposed to be used that way. Cryptocurrency is supposed to be used, as the name implies, as a currency or something to hold value. If you have everybody just trying to pool all their money into this one thing, it's bound to, come crashing down as it did. But I think what this is going to do for the people who are actually invested into the cryptocurrency market is it's going to give us a little bit more peace of mind. We're not going to have those users who have no idea what they're doing and just pumping in all kinds of money into the market and expecting it to just get a huge return. We're going to have people who are actually using it to make transactions or use it to fund something or use it as like a point of sale option. That's what the future of cryptocurrency really needs. It doesn't need people just pooling all their money in and expecting to get a huge return on it. So while Bitcoin might not go back up to $20,000 within the next few years, I think that it's going to give us a little bit more peace of mind because you're not going to have all these users just pumping in all their money expecting to get rich quick. You're going to actually have people who are using the currency as it's meant to be used, as a currency. You're using it to sell things or buy things or transfer between people or things like that, instead of just using it as a way to double or triple your money in the course of like a month, because that's just not how currency works. Also, a benefit for us miners is that since people are likely going to be jumping ship and selling their cards who really didn't have an idea what they were doing and now don't see the value in mining, it's going to also not only give us a surplus of cards, but it's going to lower the difficulty overall for mining. And that's going to make our lives a lot easier because now we have a better chance of actually getting the rewards that our computer should be getting. And while the value might be lower, the fact that we're going to have the opportunity to make more actual coins from mining means that we will probably have greater value over time. And that's, I think, what's more important. And one thing that I'm hoping happens too with this kind of value crash is that it discourages a lot of the whole botnet situation that's going on right now. I'm sure you guys have heard about the recent kind of discovery that YouTube ads or ads on websites have code in them to actually mine stuff like Monero on your CPU when you're just browsing the website. And while that's kind of okay, I think it's a very gray area. I think it's good if it's disclosed, if you give people an option where you have either advertisements or mining to fund their website. But I think it is a little bit unethical to just use people's hardware without any sort of consent. But regardless of that, I think that this hopefully will discourage people from doing that and will actually allow the difficulties to go even lower, because that's one thing that happened with a currency like Monero. Everybody started setting up these botnets and programs that were just mining on idle computers. And while that's, I guess good for the currency, what happened was it drove the difficulty way high to the point that people who had these huge, massive mining rigs with, 6 RX Vega 64s were now getting like half the number of coins that they usually do because the difficulty was so high for the, computations that these systems had to make. So I'm hoping that all of this combined, the fact that there's going to be likely more cards and more affordable prices for these cards and a lower difficulty means that a miner can now make a lot more money over time by actually running their systems. And that's where I think this kind of story comes to a conclusion, is that this is going to be a beneficial purge for the market. It needed to happen. Even the U.S. economy is doing this right now, where all the stocks for about a week were in the red, and now they're starting to climb back up. It kind of needed a little bit of a refresh. It shook some of the people out who didn't understand their investments and what they were doing with their money. And this actually, really solidifies a lot of the choices that people are making, because the people who are sitting there and holding on for the long run, that's more what's important. It's not about the people who are just pumping and dumping really quick. It's about the people who are actually investing their time and their money and their effort for a few years. So that's why it's important that if you're a miner, you just hold on to that currency, let it settle for a while, and then maybe either use it to pay for something or exchange it for dollars later on. But it's kind of important not to just be using it as a way to just obtain a ton of money right now, because that's how the whole situation here happened. Is everybody expected their money to just magically increase. That's just not how it's going to work, and that's why now we had this huge crisis with currencies. People were just expecting to put their money into this computer, and the money was just going to come out doubled or tripled, and that was going to be the end of the story. But that's just not how money works. There needs to be something else there, and that just isn't how cryptocurrency works. So I think it's important that this did happen, and while there are a lot of people probably suffering who bought at $20,000 or bought Ethereum at $1,000 or Monero at $300, I do think that it's going to be beneficial in the long run to make sure that everybody who's in the cryptocurrency market is there to stay and is not just there to make a quick buck. And that's honestly where I'm going to leave this. If you guys have any other comments about this, definitely let me know. But, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.